Make sure we've got good satellite connection. Autopilot's hooked up. Got the remote right there. Little power on to hold it on shore. Motors can be down all the way. It's pretty well lined up. And I'll put the drone in the air. Goes an eagle. Need to spread the wings a little bit here. Otherwise they start a little bit out of balance. That should start good. Always nervous when I do this. There's just so much going on.
Take off. The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Okay, filming is on. We've got it pinpointed. Put this back there. And then get my gloves. There really is no wind, so we'll just take the bow off first and coil this just to mainly get this out of the way. We can do the other ones later. I'll go get this one over to the starboard first. Since it's calm, it really doesn't matter. I should have untied the gangplank first, but I didn't. But since it's calm, I think it'll be fine. All right, I'm untying the gangplank right now so I can pull it aboard. Boat's holding good. Lifting the gangplank aboard. All right, we're ready to pull away. Everything seemed to work fine. Seems to be tracking fine. All right, we're going good here. We'll let it track us for a while. There's a loon up ahead. I don't know if that'll show up on the... All right, let's bring the drone in. Well, you need your controller to do that. All right, let's bring her down. Cancel the trace. We got that successfully retrieved. Turn off the drone. Successful flight once again. Turn off the tracker and take everything, put it away, and get underway. All right, we don't need the gloves. Well, let's leave them on because it's metal wheel. It's a little more comfortable with. See if I can get a picture of this loon here. All right, I tried to take a picture of that loon. It's an immature. It must have been why the lonely call I've been hearing the last couple nights. I don't need that vest, it's too warm. In fact, I'm going to take it off. It's too warm here. Warm and humid, both. It looks like the Leisure Island Houseboat that was at the entrance is gone, which is not surprising. We're showing 15 feet. Oh no, it is still there. I'll be darned. I figured for sure they'd be gone, but they're there. Number 11. Got the little airplane, the Satabria here in the background. I've flown that airplane, not on floats. I've flown the J3 Cub on floats, or I should say a Super Cub on floats, and my own J5A on wheels and skis. Let me go ahead and get the autopilot going, and then we can let it steer while I turn everything off. All right, I think we got it. Everything is recording. Well, I got everything set up. Take some pictures going, and it's still cloudy, not rainy. And actually a little bit of sun coming through from time to time, so it's not too bad. There's a little breeze, but not. It's still a warm day. I think tomorrow temperatures drop about 10 degrees. So I got to watch my depth in here. This is where I ran aground. What year was that? 2018, I think. I'm going nice and slow through here. It's actually exposed. The rock, you can just barely see it out there. Well, I hope this is going to be the northern exposure I need. And to use Starlink, I'm going to be zooming my kids this afternoon at 1. Gusts of wind here now. Some sharp rocks are trying to see where the site is here, but there it is. It's hard to see, but if I need to anchor here, I can do that too. So. Didn't bring any wood with me, so I'm not going to have a fire tonight. Maybe I should go over there. Could tie up on this side, but it's a little bit, it may not give me as open a sky as I would get on the other side. It's hard to tell. Although it's a little shallower angle. It could work. But we'll go back to the site that we used before. So I see there's 2 markers there. I wonder if we almost ran over that one. I don't think I saw that. Must have come close again. Does it bounce? Nope, not quite. All right, where am I going to go with trees here? Tie up is tentative here. Yeah, let's get this tied up first so it's not going anywhere. I think it'll be okay if I can get a tree to tie to. So bushy and brushy here that, where do I go here with it? Got to get around these trees. Got a tree here. I'm going to have to try to cut some limbs off here to make this a little easier to tie. It's just so brushy. Okay, I got that one tied. How about this one? I don't remember what I did last time I was here, but I must have done the same thing. Had to get around these branches. I can see why they went to the other side. I think I got an angle now that's reasonable. And I'm hoping, just hoping that I've got good enough signal for Starlink. Not going anywhere there. I'm tied right, I've got the bow right into the shore here. I was expecting to hit rocks and I didn't. All right, let's get the gangplank ashore. Make it a little easier to get on and off. Well, it's so steep. I'm gonna have to tie this thing so that it doesn't slide down the hill. All right, I think I can shut down the engine. 11.2 miles. All right, folks, made it. Didn't get any rain yet today. It's heavy clouds. Every once in a while you'll see a sun trying to shine through. I think I've got a clear enough sky to the north, so we'll see. If I have to, I may have to go out to anchor or something, and I'm going to Zoom with the kids. It's actually a pretty nice day, fairly warm. I was going to try to maybe set out on the point, but there were a few trees that would have blocked north, so I think this will be the best. try this again. I just did this video and then discovered that I didn't have the mic on. So we'll do it over again. It's a nice open campsite. It's a little snug to come in here. The bow is, you'll see in a minute, you can kind of see down there right now how steep that is. Where I have the gangplank, I have the bow stuck in the weeds there really. We'll head down this pathway here. There's a alternate place you can come in with your boat, although that one behind me is primary. You don't have to use that. You can come out on the end of the island here and on the back side, kind of on the south end of it. That's where you come in. You got to be careful. See that white jug? There's 3 jugs there. The one in the middle is the one that's dangerous because it's not on your charts. The one on the left is there. The one on the right, there's obviously rocks. So you just be careful in the middle there because you can run aground with your boat. So we'll go down this way. Down here it's a little more open. It's probably a little steeper where you come in on the back side, depending on where you choose to tie up. But it will work. In fact, on the satellite photo that I used to come in here, there's a boat parked on the back side. So it has been used. And as you can see right there is a fire ring, and it looks more used than the other one does. Interesting trees. You know, that one there, look at it, you know, the roots are right out of the rock. You know, it makes you wonder how in the world they can grow, and that's why they're, you know, it's kind of a stunted look to it. And there's several others like that, very stunted, growing right out of the rocks. And if I recall, that's a clear way to go out that way or to come in. You don't have to come in from the channel side, which actually is more hazardous anyway. So there is options here to come in. Down here is where the alternate place to come in is. Not here, it's a little too steep here. But if you go down a little further, there's a place here where you can come in. And I'd be tempted to do this another time. I wanted a real wide open north aspect because of I was going to Zoom with my kids, which didn't happen because my battery was somehow it either left it on or I don't know what happened, but somehow it didn't get. The last I knew it was at over 60%, and when I turned it on today, it was 20%. So either I left it on or I just don't know what happened. So here again, this is an alternate on this particular island. You don't have to come in where I came in. And there's some good kayaking around here. You can see that, you know, down that way is, and around the island you can go ahead with a kayak. We'll walk back. It's a nice site, but it's a little too close to cabins for my happiness. But when you're coming in at the end of your trip, you don't have a lot of choice. So, and as an alt, you know, when you're doing that, this is one of the better sites I think to choose from. A look at the back side of the island. That's south, looking kind of southwest right now. And we're coming back to the original site. There's also, you should know that if you're just using a tent, they also have toilets. Anyway, they're back in here. So this is obviously the original. There you can see the sign, although I don't see where the boxes are. I see the sign. Oh yeah, there they are back there. You can see. Actually, that looks like fairly new. So let's go ahead and walk back there. I haven't seen one where they built it recently, so this looks like something they just did. I don't remember it being here before. Yeah, it's friends of Temagami. And they even leave a shovel here to, I don't know if you can read that. Anyway, the long and the short is that they have designed it so that if the box gets full, you move it. And they leave a shovel there to move it with. Walk down here, I'll show you again how tight the bow is into the boat, or to the shore here. It was actually the brush that stopped me, not the rocks in the bottom. And that's where I came in, through that channel right there. All right, we'll talk to you later.